everyone. Welcome to a webinar on driving CA firm growth through superior client experience. We sincerely hope that you're all been keeping well. It's been a rather difficult time for everybody across our country. The ongoing pandemic has also increased the need for delivering superior client experience. Today, we'd like to talk about how practice management software like CCHI Firm can help you retain and attract new clients. I'd like to introduce our speakers, Mr. Chris Agarwala, VP Tax and Accounting at Wolters Kluwer, our esteemed clients, Mr. Gandharv Jain, partner at Finworks Analytics LLP, and Mr. Jinesh Shah, partner at Shah Tilani and Associates. It's over to you now, Chris.
Yeah, thank you so much, Neha, and we welcome you all to our ongoing Smarter CA webinar series. And we have the pleasure of having our esteemed clients, Mr. Gandharv Jain and Mr. Jinesh Shah joining us, who will talk us through their journey with our products. But I think, first of all, Neha, I'd like to share content. I think you'd have to enable that, right? I'd like to just hope everybody is staying safe. We've been through an unprecedented second wave of the coronavirus situation, and for us it's been challenging as a firm, and I know that for our clients as well, and we are trying our best to assist our clients in best ways. And I think that's why it's very pertinent for us to come up with this at this point. So I think why we wanted to share with you our sort of product and our thinking is that we'd like to talk about how we can help the CA community. As you may be aware, Wolters Kluwer is one of the world's largest provider of tax and accounting information and software. We've been in the market in tax and accountancy for over 100 years, and in Asia for since 1987. We are a large multinational. We are listed, but our focus has always been very local. So while we are a Dutch US company, we've been in India now for nearly 15 years and very closely working as a CCH brand in India. So why are we having this discussion? I think the biggest challenge that we face today is digital technologies disrupting and transforming business models. We see it with Uber, we see it with Swiggy, we see it with so many services which have come and now become so normal for our lives, right? Now we don't think of calling a restaurant for deliveries, go to the app. We don't think of calling a taxi guy and waiting for a flight. We go for Uber or Ola. So similarly, technology is touching our lives in many, many ways. And I think forward-thinking organizations are embracing these technologies to be able to drive their business forward. It helps you improve efficiency. It helps you generate new revenue streams. It helps you create new customer experiences and rapidly respond to changing conditions. And it's happening with the CA community as well. And it has got accelerated from what we've seen because of the ongoing pandemic. So if we did a study and we saw, how early adopters were sort of benefiting from incorporating technology into their businesses. And we see that revenue and profits both increased for people who are able to adopt it early enough. In India, while we have a sizable customer base now who are using some sort of practice management tools, the penetration is still low. We still come across very large firms who are still managing their processes manually with Excel and other tools, which is not really the best way to manage this. And we'll come and talk about that a little bit. So the scope for improving your practice and efficiency is sizable. We already have some customers, who have been with us for nearly 5 years, and the benefits they are seeing are far higher than the ones who are joining. So as customers keep using the products more and more, they are able to harness the true elements of the practice management tool. So what is practice management? The practice management encompasses, if you look at your entire ecosystem, there is time tracking, there is workflow, there is project management, customer relationship management, your billing, tax filings, expenses, documents, counting, many, many activities, payroll. Practice management, if in a nutshell, is like a small ERP in a way for your own firm to make it more efficient and cover many of these activities into one solution. Right now, we look at a workflow in any firm. There are staff, there are the managers and the partners, and then there are the clients. And there's a lot of back and forth communication happening. Now, this happens in person, on phone, on email, on chat, etc. And then there's a lot of documentation. So as a partner or a head of the business, do you really have a grasp of all that is happening, all the jobs which are involved? And you are responsible for creating the final documentation, the final output, and having an overview of that. I think it's very important to be able to be on top of this. So how does this work allocation and reporting happen? Traditionally, it's all done through your usual Microsoft tools, PDF, calls, etc. But do we really know where this flow is? Now, this is results in lots of different databases, lots of different templates. Everything is in a different software. Somebody doesn't show up. Sometimes the file is not available, or things like that. It becomes very person dependent rather than process dependent. And this is something that we want to change. This is all disconnected systems. We want to be able to create a system which is substantial, it's process oriented, it's not Excel based, it gives you an integrated view of customers, relationships, it helps you manage your capacity, information about jobs. Are you really making money in those jobs that you're doing for the customer? And a lot of revenue leakage. Sometimes, clients will call you and you will do jobs, but you don't invoice them or you don't track them. So there is revenue leakage. And for many of our customers, we see that in the first year of deploying a practice management tool, they are able to crunch that revenue leakage, and that pays for the solution itself. And of course, time usage and invoicing. So a practice management sort of integrates and streamlines your workflows, increases productivity and efficiency. And we've seen that in real life. It can be a 30 to 40% improvement based on some of our customer experiences. And the practice management tool gives you excellent dashboards, reports, etc., which help you manage your firm much better. Practice management covers most of the critical work areas in a CA firm. Of course, we also have linkages with other tools, whether it is your accounting packages, payroll, etc. And of course, Wolters Kluwer has launched our own audit management tool, which is a separate tool which helps you automate and streamline your audit workflow as well. If we have time, we'll touch upon that later. So management really covers a lot of the key activities that you're doing, right from your time tracking to the billing, and it's something that our modules can really help you improve. We've also added modules like client portal, practice know-how, etc., which help you even share data remotely with customers in a very secure, GDPR compliant, where the data is encrypted. So that gives you a very robust, data sharing capability with your clients. Similarly, we have database management where you can have almost unlimited storage in the cloud for your data, be able to retrieve it. If you have the Microsoft licenses, also be able to link your Outlook into that. So we're trying to make our software more and more friendly. Every quarter, we have updates on our product as well. And that's about it from me. I will now, give the floor to Mr. Jain to talk about his journey with iFirm, and let the group decide how has been experience with the iFirm journey. And thank you again, Mr. Jain. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I think was really informative what all you told the audience. Just to introduce myself, I am CA Gandharv Jain, and I run a boutique transaction advisory and valuation advisory firm called Finworks Analytics. We are registered valuers under IBBI, and basically focusing on transaction advisory services. So this CCH tool, as I may tell you, is very useful. Just let me just share my presentation also. Yeah, so see, basically what happens is that when you are running a typical consulting firm, the challenge lies in terms of monitoring the resources, monitoring the projects, tracking your clients, tracking the billings, and then tracking the recoveries, and whether all of it is happening in an efficient way or not. So typically what was happening was that in the pre-COVID situation, when all of us were in office and the team was also coming to office and everybody was around, we are able to effectively monitor our resources as well, on in terms of which projects, which resources are at, and you used to know. But with COVID kicking in, I think what has happened is that that visibility has gone, like which person is working on which project and all. And typically what has happened is that obviously when you're growing, your team size is growing, you typically tend to lose control over the staff which is at the junior level of the hierarchy. So typically what happens is that when you adopt some kind of a software like CCH, iFirm, you get that all of those comfort that were missing when you were doing it all manually. So I think some of the elements which I think why collaborative or automation tools are necessary for the CA firms to make them future ready. Some of the elements I would like to touch upon. One is engagement management, resource allocation, how to look at the profitability. Then we being CA firms, we also have interns who are there with our firm. So you have to keep a record of those interns as well, because when you're filling up their forms, form 103 or 109, the transfer forms, you have to actually mention that what did that particular intern do in his tenure with you, how many hours spent on which area and which project. So I think that is very important. You get a lot of visibility from here. Last is billing. Billing again, typically what happens is that in our case, like we have got 3-4 different entities. Like I've got one of my one CA firm by the name of Jain Gandharvan Associates and Finvox Analytics, and then there are some other couple of firms through which we make billings. So when you are making billing from multiple firms, it becomes difficult to track on a monthly basis a consolidated revenue number. Obviously, you can track by using Excel and other tools, but it becomes important if you deploy some kind of a software to see exactly what is your billing in each of the firms and in each of the projects and areas and all. So this basically tool helps you to do that as well. So coming on the first element, engagement management, I think one thing which has happened for us is that earlier what we used to do was that we used to have a Excel wherein we used to plot all the names of the employees on the left hand side and the projects on the right hand side, and then we used to do a lot of kind of try to maintain a matrix of red color, green color, yellow color, which engagement is at what stage, whether it is active, whether it is passive, which resource is working on which project, whether that resource, the project on which that resource is working is actually active or it is not active, right? So it was becoming a little difficult to update that sheet on a weekly basis, because we are all execution people, right? So all our employees, we don't have any such large admin teams or HR teams, or in the CA firms, usually the partners or the senior associates are typically working on the engagements and tracking the resources and doing all of the stuff. So it was becoming difficult to monitor the activity wise and the time and the engagement wise allocation of the resources on different projects, right? This tool, what it does is that because it works on an automated basis, once you have created a job and you have then decentralized it, like we have decentralized it to the project managers, right? And you make project managers liable for tracking their jobs. You are then not required to spend a lot of admin time on at least monitoring the project status. So in our case, what we have done is that every Monday or every Tuesday, once in a week or twice in a week, we have a call with the CCH, wherein we call everybody on a Zoom link, and we run everybody's projects, and we see that which are active, which are passive, who's doing what, and what is the action point for the week. So typically, it helps us in allocating the resources and the time and the projects in a very comfortable way. Typically, also this can also be like customized. So like in our case, because of the fact that we are into valuations, our projects are a little smaller. Like any typical project that we will do will last for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right? And in our case, the resources would also have to do a lot of multitasking. So it cannot be a case where one resource will be doing only one project at a time. So there will be a situation where at junior levels, people are doing 2-3 projects, and at senior level, people are doing 10-15 projects at a time. To manage those projects and manage the resources, because resources can also be distinct. So you may not have the same team member working on all of those projects. It becomes a little difficult if you don't have control in your work list that which are the projects you are doing and what are the stage of those projects. So I think it becomes very important to basically do that allocation and then monitor the actual progress. And you also have got features here. I think Chris and the Prasoon and other people who are technical can explain that you have got features where you can allocate some hours, and then you can monitor that actual hours, what actual hours are being spent and what is the variance. And accordingly, you can see that whether the resource was efficient in his performance or inefficient in his performance. So that can also be done. So resource allocation, as I told you, so quick decision making when new engagements are received, whether to hire or manage with the existing resources. So typically this is the problem that the typical consulting firm typically faces, is that when you have got work, you don't have resources. When you've got resources, you don't have work, right? So that is a typical problem that we have in general situation. There are peaks and there are troughs, but when there is peak, you feel that the team that you have is insufficient and you should hire more people. And when you hire more people and that peak is over, then you realize that you have got extra capacity. But you're not able to understand that whether you're not able to make a decision whether we can hire more resources, manage the existing resources. If you are able to map all your resources through this software, number of hours that they have, and expectation on each of the projects that they are allocated on terms of how many number of hours that person should spend on a particular project, you will be able to monitor whether you have got extra capacity or not. So that is one of the good points that you can do. Then again, like what we have done is that we have created a charge out rate for each of our employee, right? So we have created a charge out rate in the system, and basis that charge out rate, the work in progress or the WIP report gets generated. So whenever we are bidding a project, typically what we do is that we try to form a budget in the system, and basis that budget, basis the number of hours that we expect that we would be required to incur on that job, we try to quote a fee. But obviously it will not be a case where you will be able to recover the entire amount. Maybe case where some of the times you charge 2 lakh rupees as your fees, but your team has spent only time worth 1 lakh rupee. And sometimes it may happen that you have charged 2 lakh rupee and your team has spent time worth 5 lakh rupees. But it again, at the end of the year, when you are actually making these budgets and when you are making these invoices and you get a summary of write on, write off, and then average hourly rate per employee, at least you get that visibility, which you were not getting earlier, that how you are performing, which are the areas of improvement, which are the projects which you feel that you should pick up in future, which are the projects you feel that because I was overspending a time on this project, I may not take it. For strategic reasons, you may still take those projects, but I'm saying even at least you will know that for this client, typically you end up spending more time, more than the budgeted efforts and time, and the realizations are lower. So I think determining engagement specific profitability becomes very easy with this tool, which you were not able to do earlier because you were not doing all of this charge out rates and timesheets and mathematics. One thing more is very important, is that typically when you don't have such softwares, you don't have any systems and processes of tracking the time of your employees. Once the system comes into place, you are able to track time of your employees. They have to fill in their timesheets, and you are able to see that which resource is sitting idle, which resource was on a billable project, which resource was a non-billable project, which type of projects a resource has done. So you can categorize your project into different types. Like we have got onshore valuations, offshore valuation, due diligence, all of these different type of services that we do for our clients. So we have made codes for these different services. So at the end of the year, when you are actually evaluating and you are monitoring, then you can see that which of the resource has spent time on which type of projects. It will also help the articles to have their summary, productivity and experience to comply with the ICAI norms. And for your employees who have already become CA, when you are doing their appraisal at the year end, you would exactly know that how many number of jobs he has done, on the jobs that he was a manager, how much fee has been recovered from the clients, what was his role and responsibilities, how much time did he spend on those projects. So all of those analysis is possible when you deploy this CCH iFirm tool, right? Then comes to billing. As I told you in my earlier discussion, that when you've got multiple firms and you actually are not, you have to maintain everything in Excel, it becomes difficult to track. When you have got all your billing and on your dashboard on a daily basis, that what exactly is your billing, what is your account receivable, are there any unbilled services? Because see, what will happen is that if in your system you have opened a project code, right? You have opened a project code, there is a WIP which is standing in the system, but you have not billed it. So you will be able to know that, okay, this was a project that came in, we did some work, but then we have not billed it. there can be different reasons. Obviously, one is that the project was shared, so there was no billing therefore. Second is that it was a free project you did for somebody. Third may be a case that you were doing it for strategic reasons, so you didn't charge the client. And fourth would be a revenue leakage where you actually forgot to actually bill the client, right? And that's something which should be avoided, and which cannot be afforded also. So I think with this tool, what happens is that you are able to track your revenue leakages, unbilled services. If there are managers who are not managing their billings properly, you can actually make them responsible. Tracking scope creeps in the sense that in case your WIP is, your number of hours that you budgeted are increasing, then you can go back and actually go back and tell the client that I had budgeted 50 hours and I've already spent 100 hours. So there is a scope creep which is happening, right? So all of these things that you can manage, and you will have a lot of visibility when you are doing billing. One more thing, because typically in a CA firm, there are multi-partner structure or multiple manager structure sitting in different locations. You may have a single billing entity, but you may have different partners. So this software would allow you to actually track the billing by the partner, by the manager. So you would exactly know that how many projects have been billed by which partners. You're able to track the partner's performance as well. You're able to track the manager's performance as well. And you are able to actually make a P&L for each particular location or each particular partner or each particular resource. So all of those features are there in this presentation, in this software, which I think would make the life easier, a lot easier for people like us who are actually so involved in client execution and getting work, doing business development, that it becomes difficult to actually track everything efficiently. So I think a lot of admin time would get reduced, and you would be able to actually get a lot of benefit. But again, depends upon usage to usage. So and it will take some time for you to understand this software. So for us, it took about 3, 4 months, 5 months, and then we were able to understand that how we are able to customize it as per our needs. So I think having said that, this is a great tool, but obviously you have to customize it as per your needs, and then it can obviously have a lot of saving, both in terms of time, effort, and some recovery on the missed revenue as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Gandharv. Yeah, very insightful, and it's great to see, the product being used extensively as you have, and, deriving the real benefit. Because it's our belief also, till you're really using the product and getting those benefits, I think it's a very valuable investment that you're doing. So you should make the maximum return. And I think it comes from the top, as you're saying. I think as the senior management is involved, is connected, you as a senior partner, I think that really drives the usage of the product, because that is very important. And today, with everybody working from home or remotely or part remotely, I think it's a great tool. So thank you again. Thank you so much. I'll hand over now to Mr. Jinesha, who's also been a valued customer, and let's hear from him as well in terms of his experience, and then after that we'll have questions. Thank you.
Krish. So, what Krish and Mr. Jain told, I would like to repeat the same. CCS is an environment.
So we can't hear you very clearly. If you can speak a bit louder.
Okay. CCS is an environment wherein we can. I will connect with the speaker. Am I audible now?
Yeah, much
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Hello.
Yes, you are.
Krish, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Much
Mr.
better
Shah.
now. Yeah.
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 So basically, I would like to say CCS is an environment wherein I would like to explain it with a story. There was one a king and an elephant. They used to fought many battles. Elephant was used to save the king in many battles. Elephant used to protect from the various jumps by jumping or by having fighting with the various horses and this thing. What happened one day? Elephant was enjoying his mood in the palace, and he just went on the riverside. On the riverside, he just fell down in the muddy, soft land, and thus he was unable to come out at that point of time. All had tried. There was no scope that anyone can remove the giant elephant from this mud because it was impossible to remove the elephant from this depth of 10 feet or 12 feet. Now, what happened at that point of time? The Lord Buddha came and told, let's have a drum, the war drum, battle drums, because elephant used to survive in the battle drums. He was found with the environment that whenever there is a battle, he has some energy. So, as the Lord Buddha told all these people, the king decided, let's have it. What they did, they placed battle drums over the elephant and they started playing. What elephant thought that now there is a time for battle? He, with his own effort, came out of the mud and he was been recovered. So basically, CCH is a fantastic software wherein there is an environment which gives your office to your staff that we have to work in this particular manner. I would like to further say that whenever there is a CCH is there, the Mr. Jain has told there is a workflow that we need to create the client, we need to create the jobs, we need to allocate the resources. But along with these things, we need to also have to have the documentation part. We need to have the client connections. We need to serve the client various documents on time. Neha, can you change the slide, please? Yeah. So
Sir, one
workflow, the
request
Mr.
to
Jain.
speak a bit louder.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, much better. Much.
That's great. Do remind me if in case if you are having a low voice. So what thing is that workflow, documentation, and client connection? That are the three typical things that any CA firms would be requiring it. I would term this as a Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Mahesh. What we need to be a creator. First of all, you need to design what job you need, what resources you need to do. That's a workflow that Mr. Jain has explained us very well. Now we are coming to the documentation part. Documentation is your Vishnu because it's our survivor. See, every time we need to have the documentations, even the ICI, the various government bodies are forcing us to have what document you had taken at the time of audit, what documentation you had with you at the time of certifications. So documentation is your survivor. It's a Vishnu and the client connection. See, if you don't have a good connection with your client, every CA know that it will destroy you. Mahesh was rather only term with the destroyer. So client connection is there that we need to have a good connection with the client. So I would like to discuss more on the documentation and the client connection side. Neha, can you change the slide? Next. Now documentation. Documentations, I would like to again say one beautiful story. See what the smarter CA is. Ultimately, what every world, what the talk of the globalization is automation. Smarter CA, that is automation. What is automation? Automation, that is the you need to be a Brahma. That is that every people know what to do, how to do, when to do. So at that point of time, so CCH help us in maintaining that these things are to be done in future. These are the resources allocated, and you need to perform in this way. We are coming to the documentation part. Documentation is an environment wherein we synchronize as we are working in a work from home environment wherein different people are sitting at various locations. We need to coordinate with the managers, we need to coordinate with the articles, we need to coordinate with the clients for the data. And this, the documents help us in building a CCS documents help us in having a common place wherein we synchronize all the documentation, wherein we can verify the documentation, what the work has been done, and it will help us to access anywhere. We can access the document from anywhere. This will help us if we upload the document. It's a cloud type system wherein we can have the access of documents of the relevant jobs also. What work, what documents are collected by the team for this relevant jobs. For example, I allotted a job of ITR, and if I having an DMS, a documentation system, I will tell my staff to enclose the share transaction details. I'm talking of an individual. Let's talk of a small person, a small job. So I'll tell them what are the share transaction, what are the interest certificate. Please attach. At that point in time, if everything was over there, you will be helping. It will help a management to lot, and it will also enforce your staff to have a particular system of environment wherein they know that I need to attach all this document in this place. Then only the sir will approve. Then only the management will take further for the approval side, for filing the returns, for filing the certifications. Then only UDIN will be generated. So documentation plays an important role for this place, wherein we can have a wherein we can access the documentation. What are the supporting ends? It's a type of audit trail, wherein we can look into it for any future. In case we need the references in future, we can verify it that there was a point, there was a job in which we had done this. Apart from the documentation, there is also it help us for tagging. For example, there is a one document wherein I would like to say a valuation report. I will tag as a valuation. Valuation is maybe for the plant and machinery, valuation maybe for the business. So in future, if I need any references, I will just search in the documentation where is the valuation. If there is a tag properly marked, it will help me a result from n number of clients. We are managing a client of more than 2500 in CCH, but wherein if I need anything, I will just try to have the search in the documentation and it will derive the data. Documentation is an important role. Documentation gives us easy, quick view. Further, I can also save it in the PDF. Further, it plays a bridge between client portal and the documentation. Now, I would just like to say in between what is client portal. A client portal, I would just like to say again a small story. Everyone has seen Oh My God, if I am not wrong. In that, Paresh Rawal is arguing one sentence in the court, wherein Paresh Rawal is saying, if there is no electricity in your home, to whom you would call? Will you call to Ambani, or will you call to the local engineer who is handling your local electricity board? So, but obvious the answer was the local electricity board, the engineer. In the same way, where a CFM is receiving many calls for the having this document, I need sir, I need this document, I need this document for loans, I need this document for verification, I need this, and at that point of time we become Columbus. Why Columbus? We try to go for search of this document, where the Columbus went to search for the India and he end up landed in the Indiana, that's in the states of US. So in the same thing, whatever happens that we try to search the documents and sometimes we become a Columbus and we end up getting or not getting the documentation. So there's a documentation is a bridge between your firm and the client data, wherein you kept you kept the set of documents, for example, audit working, the last year audit working papers in your folder in the document management system. Later, if there is any call or if there is a client having any discussion or he wants any documents that on what basis this verification or this judgment has been conducted, at that point of time, you just need to share on the client portal. It's simple, just we need to select the folder and we need to say, so it will become a bridge. Whenever any document we needed to with that we need to share with the client. Many times we are receiving a calls that sir we need our last 3 years ITR, we need the last TDS return file, we need our form 16. These are small things that consumes a lot of time. If there are many CA participants, they would agree with me. Many people will be asking for the Form 16, Form 26, 26QB, 27Q. We need Form 16, 16A. We need GST returns. We need ITRs. We need balance sheet. So we need our audit report. Our accountant is not there. And when there is a call from the owner of the business, we need to fulfill their demand. So what my firm or what CCH help us, it helps us first thing in documentation, wherein you create a particular environment. That environment will force your team that you need to work in this way, and there will be a proper set of documentation which will be a ready reference for any of your future query or if any of your future demand of the client. So basically, DMS is the part wherein now we are coming on these slides. So we'll be able to upload the documents. The second point, we can allocate, we can assign. See a specific, if there is any specific work. For example, I need valuation to be done by specific person of my team. Then what I will do, I will assign that document and that folder to a particular person only, and he will be having in his login that some document has been assigned to me with the comments. So there will be, he would be able to know that these are the things, these are the documents which are assigned to me. Of course, CCH help you in assigning the job in the resources, but also in the documentation. For example, any partner to partner correspondence. If there is any confidential data or any confidential agreement that the two partners need to share, then I can definitely share in the CCH that this partner, I assigned this to this partner. That partner will have a system that what is assigned to me, and he will further comment and further he will take the actions. We can easily view it. Fourth point, we are coming document uploading tool. We can easily upload our all our system. In the last lockdown, we had our data, our every department was directly imported, or we had uploaded every data of our office in the CCH, and that was really efficient. In I would like to say 100 GB of data was uploaded within a day of 3 or 4 days, and the way it was segregated, the way it was allocated to the various clients, it was fantastic. So documentation would help us in having a proper set of environment. Next slide, Neha. Further, the things this slide is having the same thing, that we can have the context. Also, we can have a document job wise also. That will help us. For example, there are certain documentation work that we need for a particular job only. Then that document I will attach in the job only. Or else there are certain things that we need anytime. That documentation will upload in the common folder wherein we can have access anytime, or the staff can have access anytime. Further, it will also, documentation will help us in who has uploaded. If there are any changes, in case if I downloaded one file, I made any changes, further I had uploaded, and then again there is changes made by some manager of my team, then I will have a track who has made the changes. See, I will not have the data what changes I made, but at least I will have a log who had made the changes in the file. That will help us a lot in managing the data. Quickly, we can easily view and access the data. Further, if you are traveling, a person now, as of is the COVID position, in the COVID situation, the traveling is very much restricted. But in case if you are traveling, you can easily view what are the data that had came, what are the documents which are uploaded. In case you are having an income tax matter in another city, and if you need any document or any set of records that you had forgotten, but it's in a CCS, then you can easily access it and you can share it, or you can have the access to that data. Further, there is a document sync, that what I said in our full office in the last lockdown only, we had converted and we had uploaded data on the CCH, and that was a matter of hardly 2-3 days, and that was done fantastically. Every document of every particular client was assigned against that client only. It was not that dump was there and then we need to segregate. So it has helped us a lot in the documentation. Neha, next slide. So basically what client portal is, a client portal is a particular storage, or what Krish has told initially, that now we don't call to the restaurant for the ordering food. We just open the app, we give them order, and the food comes to our home or at our doorstep. That's the same thing with the client portal, that we don't need to, the clients don't need to call up the office. You just have a systematic folders, that there will be a 5 folders. One is for the audit reports, one is the ITRs, one is other valuation or something, and you define this flow. And there will, if client calls you, just tell them, sir, it's there, it's in your client portal, please go in this link, and you would be able to find it. So in this current scenario, what I feel is that a smarter automation would, for any CA firm, would be more, that a CA or the partner or the senior managers gives times for the education or for the learning or having a good reading, rather than having the most of the times previously our 70% of the times was used to in sending or reminding the team that did you send this document, did you follow up with this document. So it will help us to grow in what sense? Grow in terms of revenue, grow in terms of education, because we learn many different things, because we have a system in place that allows us to spend our times apart from the practice to any other work or education purpose where we can learn things which are new in the market. There's many new scenarios are coming in the market, many new consultancies are coming, so with we can effort and we can give time to that thing also, and that will uplift your personal branding also. So a client portal would be, I would like to say what Krish has told earlier, it's a definitely an app wherein you just need to select it and you will be having every document. And in case if not there, you habit your client. Okay, sir, oh sorry, that's not there. I will just upload it. Upload in the client portal. Don't force them to call up and they should call up and ring our office or call the partners or the managers. Please send this document. A client portal is, and even you can tell the clients if they are having any documents that need to be shared, please upload them. We will have the access. We will got the mail for the notification and we will verify it whether this document is there. Then we can definitely pick up those documents from the client portal to our documentation and we can allot the work to the team. So a client portal is a bridge wherein it helps us from the both the side to the client and to the partners for executing any work for the CA firm or CA any related work. Uh, any next slide? Yeah, that's it. Any questions with me or something with Jane?
Yeah. Do we have any questions
Krish?
from the attendees
Yeah.
for the panelists?
You
So I
can
think there
send
is one question
the Q&A
which has
panel.
come from Mr. Chandrakant, which is on an estimate what is the minimum headcount that is required to utilize the tool. Yes, and this is a user-based cost structure, which is an annual payment, but it's more a monthly cost structure. It also has a knowledge sharing platform. And I would say that we have seen typically firms with at least 5 to 10 users are the ones who benefit most from this product. But we have several customers who use certain modules, even if there are 2, 3 users. And we have firms as many as 300, 400 users also using our platform. So it's a very scalable platform that can be used for small, mid-size, or even fairly large firms. And we're talking about India. So we've had over 500 firms who have given faith to us as our esteemed customers, and we have brought this tool around 5.5 years ago. So yeah, I think we're seeing very good traction for this product. Thank you again, Mr. Shah, for your insights. Sorry, I jumped into the question, and it's always very useful to hear your feedback on the tool. And he's, Mr. Shah is always giving us feedback also how to improve our product, which is, very useful because we want power users, like our clients to come and give us feedback and see what all we can do. Any other questions from the group?
Chris, we have another question on the panel, and I would like to ask that. So it says,
Sure.
my currently has a local server, and we also use OneDrive to store our files. Let it be our administrative files and client data. Will the DMS completely replace this, or do they work hand in hand?
Mr. Shah, would you like to answer that, or Prasoon or Nilay, if you want to answer that?
Yeah, sure, Chris. So,
Prasoon, can you speak a bit louder? Yeah.
yeah, so Neha, we can replace that completely, and you can totally, rely and utilize our document management and client portal for your document storage as well as document secured sharing needs. You don't have to.
Sure, I want to add further
gather
also,
doc-
if you allow me.
Sure. Yeah, please.
To whosoever asked this question, I will give you a wonderful example. my practical example. Krish, I will take 1 minute. Is it okay?
Sure, sir. We would like to hear
Krish, I
from
will.
you. You're the actual user.
Okay, in client portal, see where I created one client, for example, Reliance, for example. I'm not such a big CS, just for example, Reliance. Now, wherein then Reliance, there are 5 teams who are working. One is working for the payroll, one is working for the purchase, one is working for the sales, and one is working for the administrative expenses. Now, what we did in the client portal, the CCS has a wonderful security arrangement. They allow us to which folder to share with which person. So what we did, we sent a client portal invitation link to 4 people. Therein, each four of the one is having, we created a folder name, the Jinesh, that will be a payroll files. He will be having access only to payroll because the management has a concern that my payroll should not be disclosed to any of the people. So in the same way, purchase has been, so we share the purchase folder in the client folder with the purchase guy only. So when as a CA, when you see, you will be able to see all the 4 folders, you will be able to see all the 4 folders and even the files inside it. But whenever your client who has been given 4 different mail ID, 4 different this login, he would be able to see only that thing that needed. Now coming to this documentation question, definitely, storage. See, OneDrive is a storage part. So I think rather than storage, CCS is one step advanced. It will help us to bifurcate which client data is there, and we would be able to restrict also that thing. That these are the client data, and we would want to see with the additional security. So I would like to say definitely it will can OneDrive. It's better than OneDrive, but basically OneDrive is an what I feel is a backup because I used to use in my office before the CCA. So it basically storage. So we can't say okay it will replace OneDrive, but it definitely are 2 steps ahead rather than OneDrive. Chris, over to you.
So thank you, sir. I think that's a very good practical aspect of how you've used OneDrive, you're using our solution, and then I think people can understand how
Definitely, because
that can be used.
management has a issue that he don't want to disclose payroll with other, and he wants that, and we told that we will not accept the emails also. So we had used this, and it is helping a lot.
Great. Neha, any other questions?
Chris, so there's actually another question from Mr. Chandrakant only, who's asking us if we can provide a trial period for users. I think it'll be best if Prasoon or somebody could probably get in touch with him for a demo, maybe. Right, Chris?
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. We can talk about trial and anything else, Mr. Chandrakant.
Yeah,
And
we'll connect with Mr. Chandrakant, Neha.
Great. And we also have a question from Mr. Ritesh Mehta, who's asking us, how are we different from Papilio?
Okay, that's a good question, sir. I think on our platform we don't want to say good or bad things about anybody else's platform. I would just say that we are the only global software available for the CA community in India for practice management. Our software is something that is used not only in India but also used across 10,000 CA firms globally in North America, in Asia Pacific, and in India. I would say that in terms of security, in terms of robustness, in terms of availability, we are probably the best in the class, if not the best. I have not seen any other software which has the uptime, serviceability, as well as GDPR compliance compared to us. So data security, data compliance, as well as the most modern features are available. We've also have all features which I think people are looking for, including our mobile app, which is live, so you can access our software whether it is on your mobile, whether it's on your iPad or your desktop. We also have a lot of functionalities which keep getting added every quarter. So we have regular quarterly updates. Everything in our product is highly tested and is rolled out. And I think the biggest difference that we have versus any of our competitors in the market is that we have a dedicated sales and service in all the key cities, and that is on the ground. It is our own. We don't work with distributors. We don't work with third parties. So we have a very senior team of both senior experienced salespeople as well as senior experienced implementation, training, and software experts who help install, get you on board, get your team trained, and all of that is included in our subscription. And every other business has different models, but we felt that that's the best model. And you can hear from our customers, Mr. Jain, Mr. Shah, that the customer support that we provide as a result of that helps someone really understand and harness that software better. Because it's one thing buying a software, the other thing is using it. And I think that's where we excel in both. So I think our product is second to none. We don't track minute to minute, but I don't think you will see too many different features in many practice management tools. Many of them will have similar things like tasks, worksheets, etc. Where the difference comes is the ease of use of the product, the training, the support, as well as the security. And I think on all of those parameters, we are probably the best in India. I have not come across anything better. And of course, it's backed by a 100-year-old company. We are here to stay. Many of our competitors, unfortunately, I don't want to name them. Some have closed. Some are in the market to consolidate because the market has been very tough. The economic environment has been tough. Thankfully, Wolters Kluwer is a very large, cash-rich company, so we've not had those same problems. Because your data is very important to us. The last thing you would want is, to go with a company and then, unfortunately, something happens and then your data is compromised or lost.
I think that more than answers the question. We have another from Mr. Bipul Rastogi, who has asked, if our data is stored on cloud, how will the DMS be helpful?
Maybe Mr. Shah, you'd like to answer that question, and then we can have Prasoon and others chime in also.
Neha, I just missed the question. Can you see once again? Can you repeat once again?
Yes. So he's asked that if our data is stored on cloud, how will the DMS be helpful?
DMS is basically what for two things I would like to say, that it's a bridge. Wherein, see, if your data is on cloud, you won't be able to share your cloud with the client. See, you can't share. If I am your client, I will say, "Bhai, mere ko ye chahiye, I need this thing." So you will say, "Office is closed and we can't." So you can't share the cloud. In DMS, see, if a client is calling up for anything and you need to share with the client, what you just need to take that these are the things, this many document, just one click with the client, and you would be able to share. That is the best answer, what I feel. But Prashun and Nilay are the technical guy. If they can answer differently other than this.
Yeah, sure, Mr. Shah. So I think it was well explained. I would just like to add a bit of color to what you said. Being on cloud, give you an edge to access it from anywhere in a secured way. You can restrict the access to your users and then to your clouds. Secondly, there is, no data loss threat. Whereas if we host it on at our end, we always carry that risk of security, which is very pertinent to us. So being on cloud, which is the need of the hour, in fact, considering the current situation as well as to the way forward to the world that we are moving ahead, we need a collaborative tool to access it from anywhere, but it has to be in a secure way. That is very important. So that's what our solution does, and that's what all CA firms now who are moving to technology are looking for. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you, Prasoon. Mr. Ritesh has actually asked for a demo also. We'll be getting back to you for that. And if anybody else has any other questions for us, please do put them up on the Q&A panel or on chat. We'll address them. There's one more question, which is from CA Tony, who's asking us that can we help with customization?
I would like to say, and I think we can have the others also from the panel chime in, that the software is very configurable, and it is a cloud-based tool. So we can't customize the tool per se, but what we do provide for each of our customers is their own specific site. So we do set up your own site. So when you log in, it will be for your firm, and it will have that branding as well. And also, it's up to you to sort of configure. There are many widgets available on how your startup screen is, what are some of the reports that you see, your dashboards, etc. So it is configurable to a large extent. And of course, we keep adding features, but we don't do any custom development because it is a cloud-based tool, as you know. So I don't know if that answers your question.
But add a point, Chris, to that.
Yeah.
So we have also introduced Microsoft Power BI integration with our solution, iFirm, which is a very powerful reporting tool. If you need any customized reports, that becomes very handy. So if you have any other software that you're using, you want to collect CCH iFirm reports and other softwares report and want to see a consolidated report, Power BI can definitely do that. So we customize the reports in the Power BI and help you get the results, desired results for you if it's not there in the system and you have some custom requirement. And as Chris mentioned that, of course, system can be configured depending on firm to firm. This is how we do. For instance, just would like to share one example to that. Some firms, they have multi-locations, multi-partner, multi-departments. Some firms, they work both onshore and offshore business where the billing pattern is different. So we configure the system accordingly. And it's not that there is a standard set of jobs. The assignments depends from firm to firm, and the firm hierarchy also depends. So depending on that, we can configure the system according to your need. So we can customize to that level, which Chris has already explained. We can configure the system, but not a custom module that we develop. Yeah.
We have one more question, which is, are the DMS related charges fixed or is it based on quantum of data? Also, are the charges based on upload or download?
I'd like to take that question. It's not on the amount of data that you store, or it's not charged based on the upload and download that you do. If the charges differs a bit if you take as a bundle service along with the other modules. So the charges varies on that parameter, but it has no linkage to your download, upload, or to the data that you store.
So at this point, one of the advantages of being a large global firm is that we can get access to good pricing on data. So in India, currently, we are not charging on the amount of data that you use. So in theory, yes, it's unlimited. But of course, the charge varies based on the number of users. That gives us an approximation of how much data you may use. So of course, for a large firm, the DMS charges may be higher. For a smaller firm, the DMS charges will be lower. It's more linked to the number of users at this point. There is no limit per se, upper limit or lower limit on data or on upload or download.
Thanks, Chris and Prasoon. There's another question from Mr. Vipin, which is that how much integrity can we expect for the documents uploaded and whether we can completely do away with physical documentation?
So that's a very good question. So as you know that the European standard for data security and data privacy, which is called the GDPR, is what we are also adhering to. This is the highest level of security globally, and this is applicable to us because we are a European headquartered firm. This means that your data per se, A, will be highly encrypted as per GDPR. B, the data is stored with backups as well. So there is a regular backup which happens for that data. So in a way, you can move, pretty much all your data online without the need for physical data. Of course, if it's something very business critical, we would say that maybe you have some few documents maintained. But from a data redundancy, data availability, site availability, we don't foresee any challenges there, and our uptime is close to 100%. So you won't feel a need that I've lost my data. Also, in case you need to have a data backup physically from our DMS site or from our servers, that is also possible at a periodic basis. So for example, let's say every quarter you want to have a local backup done for your data, right? That is in the DMS. That is also possible from our site. So in a way, you can secure that and have that on your own server for your peace of mind. Some customers do request that, most don't.
And also, as Mr. Shah mentioned, that we have that version control functionality in the document management system. So it's not only that the final document would be stored in the server, but you have those versions getting stored as a backup for you to go back and walk through in case if you have a doubt on the original document which got passed on through several hands and got edited before it come to the final stage, which often we see many firms, they ask for it, and it's a very, core requirement on the document side.
Thanks, Prasoon. Thanks, Chris. Just one last thing, if anybody still has a question they would like to ask us, we will very happily reply. You can also raise your hands, please.
Yeah, I think one of our panelists, Mr. Jain, I think he has another commitment. So thank you again, Mr. Jain, for spending your valuable time with us and sharing your insights. We really appreciate and sincerely thank you, and hope you stay safe. And we thank you again for your participation.
Thanks everybody. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Prasoon. Thanks, Jinesh. Thanks, Neha. And thanks to everybody for the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Have a very good evening. Bye.
Very good evening.
Chris, there's this one question actually, which is that we would like to have feature to schedule a person on a weekly basis on a job. Currently, we can only schedule a total time. We want to choose dates as well in which week the person is supposed to work on it.
So, for that, if I got the question correct, it's not mentioning about the recurring jobs. So on the recurring side, if we have planned that every week we would come up with a job where person A or B needs to be assigned, we can auto assign that. That's one. And when we assign time to that, we don't specify the dates, but with capacity planning, getting shaped up, there would be more functionalities around those areas. So we are already working on the capacity planning. We already have it in our system, but it is further getting enhanced. But we can always use the job comment section. We can always use the reminder section to remind the users that when they have to actually work on these jobs. So we can set a reminder for the users when we assign the users to an assignment. We can set a reminder for them that on this particular day, you are supposed to work and fill the timesheet for this particular job.
Thanks, Prasoon. I think we're done with questions. We've pretty much covered everything that we received. Chris, I think we can now call it a wrap.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the great participation, and sincere vote of thanks to Mr. Shah for joining us and giving us his valuable time. And we really
Thanks, Chris.
appreciated all the
Anyway.
questions. And if you have more questions, please write into us for a demo or at info@walterskluwer.co.in. We'll be more than happy to respond to your questions, or you can give us a call. And we look forward to hearing from you all. And thank you again for participating. Please stay safe, get vaccinated, use masks, and take care, everyone. And thanks again from Wolters Kluwer.
Thanks, Chris. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much, everyone. And one last thing. So we're available on info@wolterskluwerindia.co.in. We would love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.